You're welcome.
All right. So today is November 4th, 2024. I'm Jerry Page. I'm here with Mary at Field Point in St. Joseph, Missouri. So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask you some questions and you just answer them as best as you can. If you can, if you have any troubles, don't worry about it and just do your best. So what is your full name?
Mary Lee Cornett.
Thank you. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Kansas, in Cornett, Kansas, and then moved to Coffeyville, Kansas, and lived there until after I was married.
And when was that?
1955.
Oh wow, that's awesome. What is your educational background?
Well, I had my AA degree from Coffeyville College, and then my BS degree from University of Arkansas, and my MS degree from Warrensburg State University.
Oh, wow. And what was your degrees in?
In business.
Business? Awesome. So what were your business? You said you owned two businesses. We can talk about one of them or both of them, but what were they?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. What were the businesses you owned? And we can talk about one of them or both of them if you want.
Okay, well, the one that I was personally, my responsibility was, it was a placement service, express personnel, and I purchased the franchise on that and ran that for 10 years.
And when did you purchase that?
That was, well, it was quite a while ago.
So for that one, was it replacement service? Is that what?
Personnel, where we provided people for work assignments.
Oh, okay.
And then I can tell you on my other business, that was purchased in 1985.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So what were some things that influenced your business decisions for the one you had, that personnel one?
My business decisions, well, our goals were always to provide the best care, the best help, the best personnel that we could for our employees, for our clients, and everything that I did was to help. It was a great job because I got to help people meet their goals of being in business and working, getting experience, and it was a good experience for me. And as far as meeting my goals, I just worked real hard to always provide the best care we could, the best personnel we could.
Awesome, thank you. So I imagine you had some impact on the community by doing that. Did you have, what kind of impact on the community did you have?
Well, probably, and this I'm very proud of, I was the first woman to be chairman of the board of the Chamber of Commerce. And this was a pretty tough place to get into because they really didn't think women should be on the board to begin with, let alone chairman of the board. And I think if nothing else, the men learned that I could be trusted, that I had some business savvy, and that it was okay to have a woman. And since then, there have been several, and I'm very proud of that.
And where was this at?
Here in St. Joseph.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. There's a couple of things right down there. The Pony Express statue I received as I went out of office for that. And then the vase above it was, I received that award from the YWCA for outstanding volunteership in business.
Oh, wow.
So I think I have, I've tried to give back. That my parents always taught to give back to your community. Tried to give back to the community and make things better if we can. So.
That's awesome. So during that time, what was happening around the world? Did that have any influence on your business decisions?
Not so much. Um, Only in as it affects every business, you know. But ours particularly, no. So,
Yeah, that's okay. Were there any significant events in your life, or just that happened, that changed how you operated your business? Was there certain things that you're like, oh, let's not do that, let's do something else?
well, can we jump to the other business now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. And that's the automotive business.
Okay.
By virtue of my husband passing away, I was left as the owner of that business. My son was the manager, and still is to this day. He runs. It's his, but I'm owner in name. And at one time was there on a daily basis. So there were some things going on that when I was down there that I didn't like what I was hearing. I didn't like from the employees, you know, and things. And I sat there and I thought, we're better than this, you know. And so it just happened, timing, there was a flyer on my desk about a workshop in California for garage owners and their spouses. And I read it and I thought, that's what we need. So I took it in and showed it to my son, because my husband had passed away by then. And we decided that, I think it was pretty expensive at that time, still is, it was like $10,000. So it was not a cheap decision. And we decided to do it, and that made all the difference in the world in terms of how we thought about our business and how we knew what we needed to do, and they gave us the information to help us. And then they checked up, after we came home, they checked up with us every week, went through our books with us by phone, made sure we were doing everything we were supposed to be doing. And as a result of that, and then we went back for a second trip out there, which was a part of the original cost, came back, and from that point on, we started being profitable. So yeah, that was a good thing.
That sounds like a great thing. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's a different thing to have your mother tell you to do something than it is to have somebody you're paying quite a bit of money to tell you to do something. And that was significant in our business career.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's really awesome. When it comes to like advertising, did you have a say in advertising, or?
Yeah. We always laughingly said that St. Joseph was a coupon town, and we took advantage of that a little bit. We did quite a few coupons, and I did, you know, we sat down and said, what do we want to do? And you know, we always did the holiday ones. And, you know, we had some that we did on a regular basis, but some that would just pop up, you know. And yes, I was involved helping design those and deciding when to give them and who to give them to and all that.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So what made you decide to go into this line of work for owning a business? What kind of just influenced you to do that?
Well, okay, let's start with the personnel business. I had worked at personnel at American Family for 10 years. And then I had worked for a short time at the state hospital in training. And also training was involved with personnel at American Family. And so I really had that background of work. And people kept coming to us. At the time my husband was alive, they'd come to him too, because he was director at Hilliard Technical School. And that's training and jobs. So we were doing the same kinds of things. But anyway, and I lost myself here a little bit. What were you talking about?
We were talking about what kind of made you decide to go.
Oh, okay, yeah. Anyway, people would come to us and say, do you know anybody that's hiring? Do you know whom? I have a brother that's looking for a job, or I'm looking, or whatever. We were doing that all the time. So we decided, well, why not make a career of it? People associate us with working, finding jobs, but like I said, you're helping people meet their goals. How could it be any better?
That's not fair. That's fair. What is your most memorable moment in operating one of those businesses, or both? anything that kind of just pops in your head? I know you mentioned the awards you got, but anything else?
Well, those were nice to have, but I think the probably the first month that we turned a profit. Let's face it. Yeah, absolutely.
Getting that profit, I mean, that's important. Absolutely.
You have to have it. Yeah.
And what about your family? What did they think about you owning or your family being in business? What did they think?
Well, I have a son, the son that runs the family business, we call it, and then I have a daughter. And they've always told me they were proud of me. So, and I always, I'm worried about, do you feel like I'm neglecting you? Do you feel like you're not getting enough attention? No, they never felt that way. They always said, we're proud of you. You do a good job. Our friends know who you are. Anyway, everything was good.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to kind of wrap it up here. But is there anything else that you want to mention that you want to talk about that we haven't covered yet?
A couple of things, and I'll make them brief. One of the things that I was told as when I was starting our first business with automotive was that you need to do two things before you do anything else, and that's to have a good lawyer and a good accountant. And that's very important because people think they can do it themselves. They don't know what they don't know. And you need to have those people in your corner. And any other special people that are associated with that business. Go out and talk to them. Go out and interview them. Go out and see, what is a problem here? What is good? And they need to have a really good idea of what they're getting into, because being in business for yourself is very difficult. It's hard work. And it's frustrating, and you are the one that the buck does stop with. And that gets a little spooky sometimes. I think that's probably the best advice I could give anybody. Talk to people in the line of business. See what the problems are. One other thing, I didn't realize that there's so much, like I said, you don't know what you don't know, and there's so much I didn't realize that being profitable can cause all kinds of cash flow problems. And I had no idea that was going to happen. And we started being profitable, then we started having cash flow problems. So those are things that are going to happen. You have to be prepared for them.
Yeah. If I may ask, what kind of, can you give any specific cash flow problems that came about?
Well, if you're hiring people to meet your increased business, then you have to have whatever they need. So you're buying things for them. You have extra payroll. You have extra auto money. You spend travel money. You have supplies, whatever. So you have more expense that you don't realize you're going to have. And then all of a sudden, I don't have enough money to pay for payroll this week. So sometimes you had to put your own money in. That wasn't fun either. But it happened, and that would be then my fourth one. Be sure you have enough money to get you through the tough times.
Well, that's all great advice. Thank you.
That's all, folks.
Well, I appreciate it. I'll go ahead and stop the recording.
Well, make me sound good, okay? Oops.